Hello guys and welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to be breaking down everything that you need to know about Maleficent with some gameplay towards the end. As you can see, Maleficent is a rage guardian, so she works well in a team with a support and a tank guardian. I usually bring in either Baymax or Rogi, or Frank or Belle. And as you can see, my Maleficent is at 5 stars, rank 4, level 40, and she's about halfway there to her first astral level. But Maleficent used to be one of the better range guardians in the game, but in recent times she's kind of fallen off, and there's a bunch of range characters that I would say that are way better than her. So if you're looking to rank up a range guardian, I would rather go for Gaston, Goofy, or even someone like Tinkerbell. Now let's move on to her abilities. Maleficent's core ability means that her basic and heavy attacks inflict a 50% shock and a minus 5% defense debuff, and this lasts for the entire encounter. However, this minus 5% defense debuff isn't that good, to be honest, and it's very weak basically. And you want to only throw your basic attacks because the heavy attacks take longer to do, and so you have less chance of stacking up those defense debuffs. Now let's move on to a special ability. Her special ability is actually quite problematic when you're going against her, but when you're using her, it's not that strong if I'm honest. So basically, Maleficent deals 300% damage to all enemies. If the enemy has a defense debuff, which is gained from the core ability, they are inflicted with a burn, dealing 100% damage each second for 5 seconds. It's an okay special, it hits everyone, but it's not really that powerful. It's only powerful when it's against you, which is kind of annoying. So now let's move on to a signet ability. This actually makes those defense debuffs from a core ability even stronger, or reduces the amount of defense that the opponent would have. And then she also, when there is 3 defense debuffs, for the first time she will inflict a shock, dealing 10% damage per second until the end of the encounter, which is great. Now let's move on to her talent. The issue with Maleficent is her talents require her to lose health, and when you're playing in this game you don't really want to lose health because you want to have that survivability, especially in dungeons. You just want to keep as much health as you can. Now as you can see, with Vengeful Cruelty, once per encounter, when Maleficent is at 75% HP or below, she gains a 32.39% critical damage buff. Although this buff is good, you really need to lose health to gain it, so it's kind of irrelevant when you're above 75% HP. And if you want to gain any benefit, you need to lose health, which I think is just poor game design. And especially with this talent, once per encounter, when Maleficent is at 25% HP or below, she gains a 32.39 attack buff. It's the same values, but this time it's with attack. Although this is a good buff, you need to lose 75% HP, which I think is too much. If they're at least with 75%, you can manage, you can survive with that. But with 25%, that's when you don't really want to ever be at that point. And with her elite talent, Maleficent's burns and shocks are 22% stronger. This is just a pure offensive talent, and it's great to have. Now let's move on to her gameplay. So for this gameplay, I've brought in Maleficent into Chapter 2 Hard. So let's start. You just want to use those basic attacks because, as you can see, when I use my heavy, it takes a lot longer and there's the same amount of chance with both. For some reason this tank guardian isn't moving. That's not really meant to happen. She doesn't have root. But now let's use her special. And as you can see, it's going to hit all 3 targets. And because the tank guardian who just died had 3 or more defense debuffs, there was a shock applied. Or a burn, sorry. So basically you just want to get 3 defense debuffs on each opponent and throw off your special. There's no real reason to throw heavy, but it's nice to throw in once in a while. So I'm going to firstly go for that tank guardian. Get 3. Spread them all out. Go for this one. Looks like they're gonna die before it, so I might as well use my special. And as you can see, I've got that crit buff due to dropping at 75% HP, which is kind of annoying that you have to lose health, but it's whatever really. So I use my special again. Hits both targets. And now let's move on to the final wave. We're against the Jack Sparrow boss. Let's see if we can drop below 25% HP. Or let's take out this Mulan first. Might be annoying, because Maleficent doesn't really have that much damage. Should be easy because it's only chapter 4 hard. So let's use our special again. I feel like her special needs a lot more damage, to be honest. I know it hits all the enemies, but just 400 damage on the base hit seems really low. So let's get that 25%. Let's get that attack buff. On crit, it's pretty decent damage, but it still needs improving. So we're nearing 25%. And there you go. Now we've got that attack buff. But as you can see, our health is really low. And it's kind of annoying you need to get to this point in order to make advantage of this attack buff. And you can really easily die from this position. As you can see that we might die, but we should be fine if I keep on dodging these. Alright. It's close. Use my special again. She doesn't really crit that often, even though I've got that buff. And there you go. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.